Then let us start our weekly reset with a meditation, shall we? So let's just fall into a deep and beautiful meditation. Make sure that your feet are flat on the floor or whatever's comfortable, and your butt solid on the seat, the back of your chair solid against your back. And just relax and feel the grace of the universe flowing into you with each breath. And you're breathing in gently now through your nose and allowing that breath of pure grace, to gently go in to every cell of your body. Each incoming breath is pure grace. And you're falling in now to that beautiful hall, that great castle, that great space of peace and confidence and love. All is well. All is good. All is good. All is God. All is love. All is good. All is God. All is love. And you are perfect exactly the way you are. With each breath, allow yourself to go deeper into that sea of quiet grace. You are so loved. This entire universe is made of grace, is made of love. That's the energy of the universe. And it is filling you right now, every cell of your body. Pure peace and confidence and love. When you come back to us, bring with you this feeling, because this is who you are. Everything else is illusion. Bring this feeling of peace and of knowledge within yourself that you are exactly who you came here to be. You're perfect. So when you can, come back to us, bringing this self with you. Today we're going to talk about erasing, dissolving, getting rid of, eliminating self-doubt. Self-doubt. I tell you, that's the big enemy. That's the enemy of progress. That's the enemy of being who we want to be. That's the enemy of life itself. In the meditation, we were going into this beautiful, deep, sacred space, and we could be there all the time in one part of our minds, and that could be the guiding part of our minds that leads us through the jungles and the obstacles of life, if in fact we could get rid of self-doubt. But we all have some self-doubt, don't we? Some of us more than others. Every time we're faced with a new challenge, something we've never faced before, this quiet question in our mind says, can I? Should I? What if something bad happens? What if something goes wrong? And the answer to that is yes, you should. Yes, you should, because that's your destiny. Your destiny is to grow beyond the limits of who you think you are and what you think you're capable of. An article in the Harvard Business Review gives us a good example. A young woman, a recent college graduate, she was going to start a nonprofit in her town to help with the homeless. And it was her passion. It was what she really wanted to do. So she went to the board of directors in the city council, the police department, the authorities, but she was intimidated by them. She'd never faced people like that before. She'd never faced politicians and police authorities, and she was intimidated. And she didn't know what to do. And she went to her success coach, and her success coach said, I want you to do something. I want you to imagine the most powerful person you know. Maybe you don't know them personally. Maybe they're even past. But the most powerful person you can think of. Got it? She said, yes. She said, okay. When you talk to those people, when you go to those meetings, what I want you to do is channel that person. Just imagine yourself being that person. Just go there and do that. She did that, and she all of a sudden found herself not intimidated by anybody. She could stand toe to toe with them and offer what she needed to do, and her program was successful. They stopped being intimidated. So here's the thing. Did she actually become someone else? Was that actually somebody else? Or was she all able to do that and not be intimidated because she found a new part of herself that had been hidden? You and I, what is that sacred place within us? What is that beautiful place within us that we hide? That is so powerful. You are so unique and so beautiful and so incredibly powerful. And inside of you, there's this creative engine that's going on, isn't there? That says, I want to do something. I want to be something. I want to have something. It doesn't matter which of those comes first. What maybe you want to have something that you don't have. In order to do that, you have to do something you haven't done. In order to do that, you have to be something you haven't been. And how does that all come together? How does it come together? How do you get there? Because that all gets jumbled together, doesn't it? It all gets jumbled together, and it's difficult for you to think through that and to have the confidence to go forward. Well, if you have self-confidence, then that eliminates that old nagging self-doubt, doesn't it? So we're always, always, always talking to ourselves, aren't we? Always talking to ourselves, always have that little voice in the back of our mind. And for a lot of us, that conversation is not uplifting. Instead, it's about our faults and our unworthiness. Louise Hay, a dear friend who's passed now, said, you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Self-affirmation is the opposite of self-doubt, isn't it? Self-affirmation is acknowledging the truth of who you are and then living that truth. But it's acknowledging it first. So what if we just started, what if we started an inner campaign? We're coming up on election year in a lot of places. So what if we started a campaign like a presidential campaign to get a new self elected? And what if we changed our self-talk, changed it, and instead of limiting us to confirming our abilities and to seeking opportunities? What are the opportunities around you right now that you're not seeing? And why you're not seeing those? You're not seeing them because you have self-doubt that precludes you from that vision, from that clarity. So what if you didn't have that self-doubt? How many more opportunities would open up in front of you and open up around you? How many things you might be able to see for you to be more than you've ever thought you were? To do things, miraculous things, not things that are hard work, things that are miracles that just you put your energy and your intention on and follow through, and they come to pass, and you're so fulfilled and so filled with love and with satisfaction of your life. What if we provided self-talk every day for 2 months? How would our lives change? I think you can easily see the answer. In only 2 months, we'd be set free from much of our self-doubt and coming alive in ways we've never dreamed. Orrin Woodward said, doubts in your mind are as much a roadblock to success as obstacles on the journey. Doubts in your mind are as much of an obstacle on your road to success as are obstacles on that journey. So we have, before we go forward another day in our lives, let's address this old baggage that we're dragging behind us. It's like a great gunny sack full of bricks. And each of those bricks is something that accuses us or holds us back. And we got that over our shoulder and we're dragging it through life. And you have been dragging it for so long, you don't even know it's there anymore. You've gotten used to it, haven't you? So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of those self-doubts. But wait, maybe it's too risky to start a program that'll leave you feeling more empowered and joyful. Maybe that step is locked in self-doubt. And if that's so, there can only be 2 reasons. One, that we're addicted to our current lives as they are, including our sorrows, including our failures, including our pain, including our self-doubts, including our sitting back and saying, oh, if only I could, if only things would change, if only somebody would help me, if only, and instead of getting those going, this marginal life has become our identity, the shell inside of which our souls are hiding. And number 1 reason for not getting rid of self-doubt is that it protects us from the unknown. Protects us from the unknown, which is scary. And number 2 is that we've discovered that sometimes we lose, and losing is too painful because it affirms that we are limited. Thomas Edison created the electric lights that are now illuminating your room and mine, and he failed 10,000 times. He had a cot in his laboratory, and he took naps. He worked constantly, thought constantly focused on, I can make this work 10,000 times. Imagine, you get this glass bulb, and it's difficult to get glass bulbs then, I really imagine. Get this glass bulb and get that filament in there, and you'd hook up and you'd say, okay, Izor, hit the gas. And the guy would flip the thing and the electricity would come on and the little filament would go. and that would be it. And he'd say, oh my goodness, I think I'll take a nap. Whatever he did, he started over and again and again and again. He failed, but he didn't give up until he realized you have to have a vacuum inside of the bulb. And he just went on and on. Coco Gauff is an American professional tennis player. Venus Williams, the #1 woman in the world of tennis, turned 39 and was the oldest player ever to enter the 2019 Wimbledon trials and then the Wimbledon field. She lost to 15-year-old Coco Gauff. But Coco had suffered a few earlier losses and had started doubting herself before the match. She said, I looked into the mirror and I told myself, you're a good player. No, you're a good player and you can do it. She later said, I do think that speaking things into existence is real. As I've been trying to speak more positively to myself and actually telling myself to be a great player and that I am a great player. At 19, Coco Gauff is the #4 player in the entire world in singles and the #1 player in the entire world in doubles. Coco uses self-talk regularly to keep her mind right. She would no doubt tell us to remember that no one holds you to a higher standard than yourself and that the past failures do not predict your future unless you let them. Hank McCarthy said, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. You're a precious, eternal someone who's being protected and cherished by this loving, intelligent universe. This all-seeing, beloved presence is surrounding you and healing you and guiding you right now. You and I must come to know that the presence is around us and to recognize it and to recognize ourselves as a part of it. Otherwise, we'll be floating around, wondering who we are through our entire lifetimes. We are incarnations of light, incarnations of beauty, incarnations of the great presence, the great powerful creator of this universe, incarnations of love. Then if we're not doing that, then we're not following our life's work because we don't know what our life's work is because we never opened up the channel between us and grace, us and the great presence. We've never opened up that channel and so allowed that information to come into us and we don't know who we are. We don't know what we're doing. And some of you that are watching right now are older, maybe in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and you think, well, I've already done my life. I'm kind of coming down to the end. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your life is starting today. It's starting today. You're young. You're born today. What if you only live another 3 years? That's 3 years for you to live, not exist, not hang on, but live. And if you do that, I promise you it'll be a heck of a lot longer than 2 years because you'll be filled with grace and your body will be healed. J.M. Barris tells us that the moment you doubt whether you can fly, you cease to be able to do it. But you might say to me, I don't know my life's mission. I don't know what my real value is. That's no problem. Today, start following your heart. Start following your bliss and daring to trust that it's guiding you along a divine path. I've learned in my Ho'opono classes that apologizing to myself is the greatest step toward healing my self-doubt and giving me personal power. And incidentally, there's a Ho'opono class, an advanced Ho'opono class. You don't have to have taken the first one to take this, coming up on Thursday, September 14th through October 19th, 6 weeks from 7 to 8:30. The information for that's on bobtrask.com. Contact me at bobtrask.com and get a Zoom link. I swear you'll never do anything greater for yourself to move you out of self-doubt than going to Ho'oponopono. And Kayla Thompson, incidentally, has a class on September 16th and a second one on October 2nd. Take Kayla Thompson. Look at the gallery here and look at Kayla's picture behind her. She paints her soul. She paints her soul. Once again, we're talking about moving beyond self-doubt. You move beyond self-doubt by channeling, by allowing Holy Spirit to flow into you and fill you and then come out of you in your own individual expression. And Kayla, through meditation, through coaching, through helping, allows us to learn how to flow our own souls out onto a canvas. Oh, man, I'll be there. Mary will be there and I'll be there. We wouldn't miss one of her classes. So once again, go to bobtrask.com and all the information's there for you. So back to work. Who are you really? Who are you? Are you a warrior of light who'll step forward into tomorrow as your total self? That magnificent you awake? And if not, will you wake it up? Let's right now imagine ourselves as who we want to be. Let's dare imagine and let that imagination fill us with the thrill of being divine and with moving forward from self-doubts into who we came here to be. I believe in you. I do. See, I know something about human beings. I've been doing this work for 50 years, and I've talked to and met tens of thousands of people around the world. And I've seen something very interesting, and that's that every one of us is unique. And in that uniqueness is a power, a graceful, beautiful, flowing energy, a river of power that allows us to be and to do and to have more than we ever dreamed. And should we? Whoa, yeah, we should. And here's why we should. Because we are fulfilling our lives, we're fulfilling our purpose, we're fulfilling our meaning, we're doing the things we came here to do. And others are watching us, so we're contributing. Self-doubt's the only enemy. Let's get it out of our way. Your affirmation for this week: I am confident in every step I make. Can we say that together? I am confident in every step I take. I'm confident in every step I take. Thank you. Thank you for being with me today. It's always an honor for me to spend time with you. Please tell your friends about the weekly reset and let's get this thing going. And if you enjoyed today's message, please make a donation to help keep these weekly resets going and expanding. You'll find the donate button on my website. Once again, it's bobtrask.com. Find the donate button in the upper right-hand corner. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you. Now, feel free to sign off if that's what you need to do. But those of you who want to hang around, we'll discuss this topic and we'll do some questions and answers for the next half hour.